2 cards. One of the Black Raven, and one of the White Raven. A country torn in 2. One to the west, and one to the east. When those which were split are made whole again, the truth will reveal itself. And just set everything on fire, I guess. It's the Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu's here! Spotlights! You accursed Yatagarasu. Okay, you! Whoa, hello! 8 hours earlier. Oh, okay. Alright, dollars to donuts, the greater majority of that was out of context. Well, he do be having tea, though. It's so nice. Almost dreamlike to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Incoming chaos in 3 seconds. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and a murder at the Gatewaterland theme park. And later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office. It has been a week. It's not even a week. It's been like a grand total of 3 days for Edgeworth. Oh my god. Along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. Like, let the man have a day off. How did I manage to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back? Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. And... Mr. Edgeworth! It's a ninja! This is big! Big, I tell you! Hey, what's wrong with you? Where's your enthusiasm? Suddenly, the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes to mind. What are you talking about, fragile dreams? Come on, let's go. The fake Yatagarasu isn't gonna just find herself, you know. Well, if you must know, it's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake. Say, what? I might have been, but I might not have been. To be fair, Edgeworth, I'm pretty sure they said at least something. Did it sound like a woman's voice to you? Unfortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. I also have not slept in like 3 days, so I must insist that you be patient on this one, Kay. What's with you today? Are you sure you aren't sleep-talking to me right now? Anyway, I got something much more important that I want you to see. Oh, and that is? It's in my bag of mysteries! Take a look at this! The Yatagarasu sends card to an embassy. On March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secrets. That's quite a bold declaration to send to an embassy. I suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this. The date the card mentions is today. Today, huh? Come on, we gotta hurry. The embassy awaits. I suppose it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating? Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. She pout. But never mind that. Where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today? Edgeworth only knows one speed, and lackadaisical is all he's got. I'm not, Kay. You're just too wound up. Well, then you should get too wound up, too. Because this just might be our chance to catch that woman. You mean Miss Yu? The woman who killed Kay's father... I don't know, burn Faraday 7 years ago. I'm just gonna have to go with that, and everyone can make fun of me in the comments. I'm sorry. Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu, but she was a liar. And then disappeared from the courtroom. Ah, she makes me so mad! The phony. Not just for the murder, but also for the lies. Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Yeah, but the Yatagarasu did send calling cards. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public. Oh. Oh wait, no, or until then, the target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome, right? He doesn't announce ahead of time. The Yatagarasu's card that's shown in this article looks to me as though it could be genuine. See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person isn't the real deal, but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. And if this isn't a clue that the woman's involved, then nothing is. Oh, she do be adjusting gloves. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, out the door you go. Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. Like what? There's something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. It's of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why. Almost as if it were a negative. What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole through the newspaper with your eyes? No, I just like staring at things intensely. I'm sure you've picked up on that by now. No reason at all. Very well. Seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, and that I hate her, I agree there is some merit to be found in investigating this. I knew you'd come around! To the Friendship Mobile! Okay, that's my Buick. By the light of this night's glorious moon. Oh, cool, the Steel Samurai is happening again. We are ready. Ready to embark on our nightly outing. And this is where our tale begins. Freaking Steel Samurai, man. So what did that have to do with literally anything? What a coincidence. Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy? I would actually go out of the way to maybe phrase it as literally impossible. Why would that be a thing? Yeah, the climax was really awesome. Steel Samurai Sushi Slice. I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out. I suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television. I have to say, though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building. Well, as you said yourself, this place and the countries it houses are very special. Even the theater is special in that it is a neutral zone shared by the two countries. So let me get this straight. The Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries for God only knows why. The one that's called the Kingdom of Alabast? That's my best guess, right? Yes, it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well. Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. That's the one with the guitar! The Republic of Babal? Babel? Babel makes a little more sense. Is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. We totally gotta see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. The Jammin' Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end. You have made a great enemy this day, Kay. You know, ever since I first met this girl, I've always had this inkling that what she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja. It's true, some people always equate those two things as one and the same, but it's not actually the case. So, anyway, about today's events. What's it called again? The Kingdom of Alabast versus the Republic of Babel Goodwill Jubilee. That is a terrible name. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babel. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature. And it was called the Principality of Cadopia. Oh, I see. Is everything all right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I'm all right. Moving on. After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though signs of their past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Cadopia, huh? It's all connected! The KG-8 incident, and what was referred to as the second KG-8 incident, in which an embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Cadopia. In the 7 years that have passed, the country may have split in two. Split right in twain! However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card here. What could it all mean, other than future crimes are afoot? Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something. Oh, excuse me. What were we talking about again? If you could please stop spacing out on me. Anyway, we were talking about the Alabast versus Babel Goodwill Jubilee. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other, but supposedly they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event. If that's the case, then why the verses? Generally, you don't versus someone you want to be allies with. Also, both countries claim to own the real Prima Duck statue, a national treasure to both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal. Oh yeah, I'm sure that won't go poorly for anybody. Okay, need I remind you to take care and not succumb to your thieving desires? Well, when it comes to treasure, I can't help myself. You know that. Yeah, she'd better be saying that in jest. Since when has Kay ever done anything in jest? Hey, I can read your body language, you know, and you got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell ya. I know. And although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance, I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place. First and foremost, let me talk to your face. There's a very festive atmosphere in here. Yep, super festive. I'm really happy for the Kingdom of Alabas and the Republic of Babel. It's great that they have re-established diplomatic relations. The newspapers say that it's almost like they're Codopia again, once again. Blah. Perhaps we are bearing witness to a historic moment in time. Hey, look, they're selling some commemorative merchandise to celebrate this event. Founders Codopia biscuits. And over here, they're selling Royal Codopian biscuits. It would seem that they have yet to reconcile their competitive spirits. What with them and their biscuits, I guess. All noted it. Hi, Lotta. Where in tarnation are they? Come on, Big Scoop. Hey, mister, out of the way. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I seem to remember this woman from somewhere. Yet my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. Perhaps it would be best if I left her alone. It's just Lotta. There's nothing wrong with her. I mean, yeah, she's kind of a massive weirdo, but it's the Ace Attorney universe. What else are you expecting? All right, well, can I talk to you? Good sir. Is there something I can help you with? I was wondering what is beyond these doors. The Babelese embassy is just beyond these doors, sir. Do you have some business with the embassy? Do you require immediate access? Ah, no, that's quite all right. Are you sure, sir? Anyone and everyone is always welcome in the Republic of Babel. Well then, since we're here. An embassy isn't some sort of theme park, Kay. You're such a buzzkill. Yeah, you're really gonna have to get used to that. Also, I guess just Steel Samurai all up in here. There's a flat panel, a tape deck, and a row of Steel Samurai videos on this table. I suppose it's so that visitors can watch an episode or two at their leisure. I guess it really is just that popular, huh? Yes. Although I never thought I would see it reach this level of popularity. Wonder why they decided to call them the Steel Samurai for an event like this. I mean, it's like they intended to cut the two countries apart with the samurai sword instead. Wouldn't that go against the whole point of this event? I mean, I already am well aware of the fact that something terrible is about to go down. Mostly a gigantic fire. Also, hello? There are pamphlets about the two embassies here on this table. Wow, split right down the middle, huh? Huh, still looks weird to me. That's just a weirdly designed building in general. The country split into two a few years back, and they've shared the building and its grounds 50-50 ever since. Huh? Well, I guess it's because they don't have the money to build two separate ones, huh? I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. Well, then why not? Why not get their owns? I suppose I'll just sell myself to one of these. I'm sure it'll be useful to somebody somewhere at some point for some reason. What's all the hubbub? Ack! Hey, look! It's the Steel Samurai! He's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him. Oh, well, how about that? Well, we now know what we must do. Or I could talk to you instead. And we're here, reporting live from the Theatrum Neutralis? Huh. As you can see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say. Well, okay, that was good. Let's do one more run-through. Excuse me, but when are you ready to film for real? When you ready to film for real, would you mind giving me a call? I sense that she didn't hear a single word I just said. Edgeworth doesn't mind being talked to, though. All right, I guess we're being told to talk to the Steel Samurai. That's a thing. May I speak with you for a second? Well, that's just surreal. It's the Steel Samurai. Yeah, don't worry, Edgeworth. I've been starstruck, too. Honestly, in almost the exact same way. I literally ran across them in a hallway. That was fun. Incredibly nerve-wracking, but fun. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for? Yeah, please excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before. With that. Looks like he's written something down for you. To Edgeworth, from Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Old Tokyo. That's a weird name. Wow, an autograph. Pretty cool that you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Internally screaming. He's good at keeping himself together, but we know. Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you. It's always nice to hear the samurai theme song again, though. Oh, we'll proceed to enter the Kingdom of Alabast to shake the hand of the Ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the two countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our country as well. Ah yes, the great country of Japanifornia. There he goes, off to spread goodwill to the world. He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he? Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera! In just a few seconds, the Gem and Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Gem and Ninja will enter the Republic of Babel. He is sent to meet with the Ambassador of Babel at the time. The Gem and Ninja show is about to start. We gotta get back to our seats. Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas. Only samurai, you see. Well, this show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry. I mean, she watched your thing. It's only fair, Edgeworth. If we miss even a second of the Gem and Ninja's awesome plan, I'll never forgive you. Yeah, I suppose you're not about to give me much of a choice here, are you, Kay? It's the nice thing to do. Oh my God, Super Mario All-Stars is about to begin. I could listen to that A Ninja Marked for Death's lullaby song all day. His superb playing and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice. Now that's the Gem and Ninja's greatest weapon. His ability to say words melodiously. Those pieces of Gem and Ninja merchandise over there. I gotta have them. I especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine, Princess Misula, wears in her hair. You do use a big old key. Anyway. Hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? You're thinking of going home, aren't you? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight, and before they do, in 3 seconds. Most likely, it was simply a prank. No way! I just know the Yatagarasu will show. But I thought you said that the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards. Yeah, I did, but I figured from the very beginning that this would wind up being a wild goose chase. That card she sent was a genuine fake calling card. A genuine fake? Well, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now? We've got a problem! Once again, Mario All-Stars. The Yatagarasu has been spotted in Alabast! Nani?! You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha! So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony. I'll make you eat those words! Hey, what gives? I'm sorry, but I'll need to search you before you may enter. What the? Hey, the Steel Samurai just waltzed straight on through without one, and he had a baby. Now, if you don't hurry up and let me through, my phony is gonna escape. Okay, a country's embassy is considered to be part of the country itself for very weird reasons, honestly. If you don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country, Mr. Edgeworth, you're gonna enter through Babel and climb over the wall in Alabast. Hold it. That's unnecessary. You would tell a prosecutor straight out that you intend to illegally enter another... Okay, are you listening to me? Kay Faraday, and I'm coming through. Oh, Kay Faraday, and I'm coming through. Yes, and welcome. Someone stop her! Anyone! Edgeworth, run! Traveling at the speed of eternity. Wow, I already hear fire. That's fun. Okay, where are you? Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Edgeworth, look around, dude. Ah! Why did it take so long to notice that? Fire! This is too big for us to handle. Looks like the Yatagarasu came to Babel, too. You accursed Yatagarasu. Okay, you had better be all right. Wherever you are. I knew it was out of context. Trying to make me think Kay burnt a building down. They didn't even bother waiting to tell that one part of. Okay, hello, what's all this? There's a lot of things going on at once. I told you it wasn't me. Hold it. Edgeworth to the rescue. Oh, dear God. Stop making me run. Kay, are you all right? Do I look all right to you? Now, can you do something about this woman? Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of this? Well, sir, it's, this. Oh, that's a murder. Yo, wait, ain't that one dude? It wasn't me! He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu. Look, I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person at the open-air stage. A suspicious person? Yes, as in somebody who was suspicious. A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought that they must be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. But I just know that person is the one who did it. What are you so worked up over? There's no reason for you to be this loud. Yeah, and there's no reason for you to be wearing sunglasses indoors at night, you weirdo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lang's secretary and professional bad hair haver. Sheena, I believe your name is, correct? I don't know, probably. And if you're making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime? Is that also correct? Cool, not even gonna bother talking. You refuse to answer? That's a new crime! I don't need to answer. Yes, you do. You're merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority. Hey, pal, just what the heck does what you just said mean? I don't know much about nothing about anything, so you gotta explain it. Very, very slowly. If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end. Seeing as how this building is sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we like. Unfortunately, Detective, embassies are a different matter. This office is considered to be a part of the Republic of Babel, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babelese government and Babelese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. Extraterrestrial rights? Sir, do you really believe that the truth is out there? Okay, somebody bonk Gumshoe. Basically, our country's laws do not apply inside the embassy of another country. That's what was agreed to by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place, which means we can do little here in this situation. No way, sir! Please leave this matter in Interpol's hands and go home. Don't tell me what to do. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, you're not... Mr. Edgeworth! Now who's holding it? In that case, allow me to join your investigation. Begods! It's a freaking Francisca! Yeah, we were just happy to see you. Why you gotta be this way? Oh, she do be bowing, though. Ambassador, oh god, so many names. Palino, maybe. I truly appreciate you allowing me to join the investigation. It's really nothing. Manny was my secretary. It was him! Was my secretary, or no wait, my secretariat? Like the racehorse? So of course I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly. Francisca? Well, I never imagined that I'd meet you here, of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to conduct. Already? What is it? Didn't even give you a chance. Ambassador Palino. And you are? I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant. Your assistant? Miles? What the heck do you think you're... Please, I implore you, Ambassador Palino. Very well, I'll be counting on the two of you, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. What did you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant? I mean, it looks like a loophole to me. I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Francisca's assistant, I can't participate in the investigation. There you go again, running at the mouth with the aloof expression on your face. Francisca, please. I don't know what you're planning quite yet, but at least I do know one thing, that you are now my subordinate. Good enough for you! Hiya! Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you up should you have a brain lapse. Of course, I'll keep that in mind. If you're done playing games, we're not playing games, we're solving crimes, stupid face man, lady type thing. Right, let's begin the investigation. Okay, do you really have to hold K like that, though? I gotta be honest with you, I really detest that you're doing that. By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here? Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babelese embassy today. Why do people keep putting you at guard duty? And why are our police guarding an embassy? Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us up and asked for our help, sir. And because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years, it was more or less mutually beneficial agreement, if you ask me. Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. Looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again. Yeah! Look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it's out of my hands. Sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even packet noodles anymore. Man, that'd suck. Yes, sir? Alright, you're gonna have to give me some information. While you were on guard duty, did you notice anything unusual? Well, I was on watch inside the embassy, but unfortunately I didn't run into the Yatagarasu, sir. But I did talk to an officer who was on duty near the border between the two embassies, who told me that not a single person crossed the boundary during the incident. I see. The investigations into the fire and the Yatagarasu are a mess thanks to both events. I'm so confused, sir. Should I be putting the fire out or investigating? What do you think, sir? Aren't you old enough to solve your own problems yet, detective? Oh, that bodes poorly for me. Oh, dear. I'd like an update on how the investigation is going. Well, it quite literally just started, sir, so yeah, well, it's going, sir. In other words, no one has any idea of what happened here, correct? To put it simply, yeah, you got it, sir. But we do know that something happened in this room, sir. A moron with a pair of eyes can see what happened, detective. Just because someone has eyes doesn't mean they can't be blind, Edgeworth. Just rude. Well, anyway, let's investigate every nook and cranny in this room, sir. I'd thank you to not steal one of my new patented catchphrases. We have to get serious, or Kay will end up getting arrested as the killer. Yes, I'm already well aware of that. Poor Gumshoe. He really just wants to do good. In order to find out what really happened here in this room, we'll need to gather whatever information we can. It's time to take a good look. Alright, well, the corpse is always a pretty good place to start, but hey, what about this crashed ceiling light fixture? The ceiling fan must have fallen from the ceiling. Now it's just a fan. A ceiling fan? What does one of those do? Excuse me? Exactly what it sounds like it does. It's a fan that's installed on one ceiling. Well, if I had one of those in my room, I'd bet I'd go dizzy from staring at it as I slept. Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep. Yeah, big Dorcas. All right, Francisco, what's the haps? Miles Edgeworth. What is it? Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinates. And if you wish to convince everyone else of that, you will speak to me with respect. You say that like I don't do that already. What's with the giddy glint in her eyes? She's just absolutely living for this moment. I don't think that'll really be necessary, Francisca. Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you are still under me. Yeah, I bet you'd like that, wouldn't you? Easy joke is easy. Easy joke is easy. I thought Francisca was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy? Why is a Francisca all up in this lands? That's the real question of the day. Now tell me about the murder! I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess. Ah, that's right. The Yatagarasu was due to appear at the embassy as well. Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Balbalese. So many big words! So Agent Lang is here as well, huh? Well, that sucks. But I mean, his secretary is, so... I see you've met. Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. Alright, fair enough. So, the suspect in the murder that occurred in the office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu? Kay would never harm a soul, sir! Kay? You remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago? That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday. So she's that feisty little girl. The junk kicker. I remember. Kay has been on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who took her father's life. I see. Ah, there's a little bit of sympathy there. Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu just keeps on tricking us all. How so? The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I'll be there to steal your dirtiest secret. But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract and it's going on the rap sheet. If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight. I do wonder, though, if Callisto U really is the Yatagarasu. Who is the liar? Who is the truther? The world may never know. Should I look at the statue? Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid that, the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat. I'm going to hold it, you can't stop me. But there's a possibility that it's related to the murder, wouldn't you agree? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can force them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof. I suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the Prima Duck statues Kay was talking about earlier. Is it just me, or does this man look just like the Steel Samurai? It could be twins. I mean, I don't remember the Steel Samurai being plated in gold! Regardless, hey, alright, we still got a thing, so that's always good. Alright, so what's your business, you absolute weirdo? Can't believe that Manny fell among the thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is, and that's the only reason I'm upset. Ambassador Palino, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police, that and only that. I ask you to cooperate, not only for your sake, but for Mr. Cochin's as well. You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating! I've never seen people that don't immediately buckle under pressure. There, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these. I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe. Oh, no, these are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babel. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babel. Now I remember. The Republic of Babel is known for its feverish tourism industry. Alright then. Tell me about this Manny Cochin and the time that he totally murdered somebody. I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased Manny Cochin. He was my secretary, and the embassy secretary at. Okay, clearly there's a difference here, and I guess that horse was named after that concept? I'm not sure. There's gonna be a lot of Googling for me in the future. Anyway, charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man, except for the time he, murdered somebody, but, his death is a great loss to our country. He was in charge of everything. Accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures. That's a lot of things to expect one dude to do. I'm sorry, but did you say printing? Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So, in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy. That's weird. I see. Please excuse my forwardness, however. I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before. Oh, yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have what with the murder and what have you. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incidents. The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. Edgeworth has very weird selective memory. So your Mr. Cochin is the same man as the one in that case. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into his job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee the embassy's renovations. Really, it's a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him. Of murder! What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations? We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy think we're a poor nation, can we? So, renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is no longer with us. I see, says the me. Alright, what about this clock? Looks like this was once a grandfather clock, but it's fallen victim to the fire. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks on my house, sir? If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but... Well, there's one clock that I made by myself, but the timer on it manages auto... Oh, that's quite enough, detective. Why can't you just let me be your friend? Let's see, looking at all the stuff. Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir. Knives, huh? Okay, well, clearly a missing knife is here. That's noteworthy. Although, the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. I guess the handles all got burnt off by the fire. Ah, so even the knives fell victim to the fire. Yeah, fire doesn't discriminate. I'm frustratingly aware of this fact. Ambassador Palino, are these knives yours? Ooh, yes they are. This is my office. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babel. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Babalese ones have been reduced to this state. Ornamental knives, huh? There's a small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Palino, what is this notch here for? Oh, that. It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them, so that we can change how they look to fit the situation, of course. I see. So these knives were constructed so that the handles could be easily removed. I realize that this is semantics and probably not worth getting all up in a huff about, but wouldn't it make more sense to say that the blades are replaceable rather than the handles? Knives are kind of known for needing to replace or sharpen the blade, not needing a new handle. If you need a new handle, then you're basically getting a new knife. Regardless, all right, what is this thing anyway? I guess it's a butterfly. Hey, it's another butterfly. I believe it is the symbol of the Republic of Babel. Oh, that's important, apparently. All right. A drawing this big on the wall of an embassy definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Well, I got a lot of patriotism too, sir. Proud citizen of Japanifornia, don't you forget it. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country. You may want to, Detective, however, I have yet to see that fruits of your desire. You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir. You think Gumshoe isn't aware of how sad his life is? He doesn't need someone reminding him. Anyway, I've been nice enough, for more than long enough. Could you please let go of her, you absolute conniving demon spawn? Seriously, I don't trust her or Flag at all. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, are you all right? You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right? Yes, of course I don't. And I promise to prove that it wasn't you. That's enough chit-chat. I have to keep her in an arm bar. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you can. No, I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true. Go ahead and try then, if you're that confident. Can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocence. Post-haste! All right, well, let's go take a gander at that there corpse. Well, I want to look at the corpse, but what's with the A pose? Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting the investigation beyond this point. I'm a subordinate of Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near that site, you got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. You know, Miss Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? Yes, I suppose we might as well. All right, then fine. Let's take a look at this here corpse. So our victim was the Secretariat of this embassy, I take it? Manny Cochin. I heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable, what with his getting away with murder and everything. The cause of death was a stab to the base of the neck. Was lax on watching his back, apparently. We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. I don't much care for having to use dental records for identification purposes. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. So Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire? That's pretty badass. What in the world happened inside this room? Well, I admit I haven't investigated for long, but if I had to guess, he was stabbed in the neck during a blazing fire. I believe that is what happened in this room. Just a guess, though. All right, let's see. Let's look at them crannies. All right, well, first things first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but appears to be something in his pocket. Yeah, I was wondering about that. This key. It can't be. Isn't this a Yatagarasu key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's... Huh? 7 years ago. Oh! Even Gumshoe remembers things. You mean that case where I was framed, sir? Yes, it's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago. Which was then stolen by Callisto Yu. What? Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir? I thought he was killed with a knife. Yagabuggin! Scruffy! At the very least, try to remember the details of crimes you were a suspect in. I don't think he was present for that. Francisca, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. And I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge. I feel like the victim right now, all trampled on, sir. I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is... Boom, boom, boom. It's like a transformer. Okay, you really want me to hit the button again? Okay. Seems a little incredibly unnecessary, but sure. Yatta! Whoa! That's amazing, sir. It's like some kind of magic trick. There you go. The knife key has returned. Whoa. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It is a vine motif, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. Vine, sirs? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. It's one of those stick-sided stars, just like the police mark on your on our IDs. I really don't think you can call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is, why was the Babylese Embassy's Secretariat holding this? Well, we don't know how Mr. Cochin came to possess this key. We do know that this was stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Godobian Embassy. That's right. Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Cadopia. Why don't you ask Ambassador Palino about what he knows? Supposedly he was a candidate to be the next Cadopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. Well, then don't mind if I does, but first and foremost, let's take a look at that murder weapon. Is this knife the murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade's shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wounds. I suppose this means that we now know that the crimes were committed with this knife. This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, eh, sir? This thing practically screams artsy at me, too. Although it's kind of covered in blood, just like that last thing that I said was artsy. Oi. But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. Okay. Knife data down in the organizer. That's cool. Let's see. Should I look at his weird head? Manny Cochin. I've seen him before. He was the suspect in the KG-8 incident. And I saw him talking with the eldest sister of the victim of that case, Miss Callisto Yu. I wonder if there's a connection between his murder and the KG-8 incident. The odds seem rather good. Let's see. Anything else of note? Doesn't seem so. Is all just the same thing? Yeah. Okay, maybe look at the wound itself. It's a knife wound. It's obvious what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Indeed. Okay, I guess that's all there is to that. Let's go ahead and talk to What's-His-Face again and see if he can give us new information. Ambassador Palino, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cadopia. Cadopia? All right, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key. What about this key? I found it sticking out of Mr. Cochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly. That's not all about this key. It's also capable of changing into a kniff. Whoa! How fascinating! Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key? In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Cadopia. And how'd you come to that conclusion? It has both the Cadopians' national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when you were still Cadopia. Cadopia, oi. Okay. Ambassador Palino, this key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago. By Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the great thief Yatagarasu. Oh, really? You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into the embassy at that time? I'm sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babel became its own independent nation. But if Manny were still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then. Mr. Cochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Yatagarasu's key here in the present. Alright, let's see here. Only thing left I can really think of is a safe? A small personal safe. This was Mr. Cochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Oh, but it's not that other guy's office. I almost called this an apartment. Okay, can't be opened without the key. I have a key, though. Oh, of course it's locked. Because won't be able to open it without the key. All right, well, let's see here. I just might know a thing or two about what to do, maybe. Oh, Lord, I have a lot of things that I need to connect. Okay, let's see here. Hang on. A butterfly-shaped guard adorns the handle of this murder weapon. Let's see, national symbol that adorns the national flag. So then you think maybe these get connected? Just to start with all of the various things I gotta do? Yeah, all right. The design on the knife's handle. It greatly resembles the special Babelese species of butterfly. It does, doesn't it? Plus it says right here, this knife is property of the Republic of Babel. Huh, maybe we should just read that part. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room? You mean the knife is the thing that is missing from that other thing? Yeah, all right, that stands to reason, I'd imagine. Anyway, let's see, the card, oh, then that would explain Francisca's return. There we go. We'll save the most obvious one for last. To steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu was out to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Francisca, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Balbadese embassy, eh? The head of the smuggling operation. I think I just might need to ask Francisca about her smuggling case in more depth. All right, then, well, let's do that before we, try to pry open a safe. Seems like a good idea. All right, tell me about the smugglings. Francisca, when we last talked, like 16 hours ago, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you are here right now is related to that. Yes. After analyzing the intel we'd gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off. This accounting document? It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the kingdom of Cadopia, which means that somewhere in the countries of Alabasta and Babel is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring. That's Francisca for you. She's amazing. Pursuing this case with all she has. Okay, but what about this paper means it had to have been Cadopian? Not really sure what the heck that's all about. Anyway, oh, right. Logic it up. All right, I got a locked safe and we got a key, so it's about time we finally see what this dang thing opens, eh? I like that idea. We know for a fact that the Yatagarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Cochin's pocket, which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office. Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out. It appears I was correct. Yay! The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. Who would have ever thought a key would unlock something good? What do we have here? Hey, there's something inside. Do you think the Yatagarasu made off with the everything, sir? No, Detective, I believe all we need is a closer look. I won't rest until I've inspected all of the things. Okay, well, what about this obvious paper? What is this here? Looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir. No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck in the safe. Hey, you're right. Won't budge an inch, sir. Not even when I tug on it. But I don't think I've ever seen a paper stuck on the inside of a safe before. Hold it. Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe. What do you mean? What I mean is that the secret to the safe is that... I guess it has two compartments, is my guess. Even just eyeballing it, you can see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say that there is an extra bit of space behind the back wall of this safe. In other words, this safe has a second compartment. Ye gods, it has a compartment? I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct and there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then? As you can see, there is no other lock or keyhole in sight. Well, what's that thing right there? Actually, there is one spot of interest to me on this safe. Oh? Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery second lock. The safe and its locks. All right then, since you are so sure of yourself, show me how you deduced your answer. All right, well, it's just kind of a random guess, but that looks a lot like a keyhole to me. And if I had to guess, I mean, you ever stop and wonder why the object... Let's see, do I need to... Is the key? Just the key itself? Okay. I always wondered, like, why have a key and a knife be the same thing? I'm willing to bet maybe you could jam the knife in there and it acts as, like, a second key in a way. Eureka! Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisca? The shape? It does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut, nothing more. Lies and slander! Is that so? The person who used this safe, Mr. Coach, had made sure this safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to have the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out? You can't be serious. Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of this safe? That's precisely what I'm saying. And I will prove to you right now that the Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it. Objection! I will now stab this safe. The Yatagarasu's key? Miles Edgeworth, this had better be a very bad joke. Sorry, but you know I'm bad at those. This is no joke. The Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of this safe. Note that this key opens the first compartment of the safe, but the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key. But, you want me to... What? Okay, so what, like... How am I supposed to, like, look at the blade? Like, see? Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Couchin's safe in the Cadopian embassy. We confirmed that as fact by opening the door to his safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see? What are you talking? Ah! It appears that you've come to understand what I'm talking about. Weird noise you just made, by the way. When viewed head on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's preposterous! Is it though? Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a kniff. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the section must be of incredible importance. I'm Angie! And it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. That'd be pretty dope on the rope, let's not be wrong. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe. Why, sir? Open it now, sir. Oh, hey, knickknacks. These items, it's a bunch of funny-shaped things. I think I see Shenron in there. Whoa, you're in the way! Now move, Scruffy! I didn't think I was in the way. Sniff. These pieces of art, they're identical to ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was to hide from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required. Alright, let's take a look at Shenron. These are pieces of stolen art from around the world. I wonder how much they're worth, especially this one. Ugh! Scruffy, don't touch those valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands covered in Swiss rolled chocolate. Why? Do you have an idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break? Is it just me, or did she hit one of the pieces of art just now? Oopsie doodles. Alright, well, I guess it's all the same. Well, then what's the paper about? This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier. Wonder what it's about. Beats me, sir! Well, why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective? Oh, hey! Mr. Couchin's name is written here on the last page. Wonder what the significance of this document is. I mean, are you serious right now, Edgeworth? Okay, sure. Yeah, this is literally it. That's just silly. Take a good look at these documents, Francisca. It says there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct. Oh, correct. Now, take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3? Well, it certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you have now found what you were looking for. Yes, and with this, it has become crystal clear that Mr. Couchin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Babyliss Inc. Babyliss Inc. Incorporated? Babyliss Inc. is a special product of the Republic of Babel. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume was ever exported. And that reason is? That's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin. His base was in an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. But it's so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my whip of justice. Well, even if he is dead, you could probably still hit him. We still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. Expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested. Wow, she actually answered me specifically. Francisca, you must know that Manny Cochin was the suspect in the KG-8 incident. Of course I know! On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. Hoi hoi!